Recording some progress. Okay. So today I'm going to need some audience participation in order to complete the class that I want to complete today. So I'm going to share my screen. We'll go through this together. So here's what I'm looking for. You can either unmute yourself or put it in the chat box. Give me a company or a brand or a product of something that is more money than you can get the same product elsewhere. So let me give you an example. You could say Mastro's Steakhouse, because Mastro's charges $60 for a steak when I could still get a steak for cheaper elsewhere. So give me a product or a brand or a company that charges more for something that you could get cheaper elsewhere.
Nordstrom.
Nordstrom's, okay. All right, you're gonna have to bear with me on spelling because I'm gonna be trying to type fast here. Go ahead. What else?
Four Seasons.
Four Seasons, yep, Four Seasons, okay. What else?
Ritz-Carlton.
Ritz-Carlton, yep, okay. What else?
Century 21.
Century 21. Hey, oh, you like a Jew, you. What a team player. Century 21 does charge more than you could get the same product elsewhere. Okay, got it. What else?
Whole Foods.
Whole Foods. Yeah, okay, got it.
Rolex.
What else? Let's get some more here.
Rolex.
Rolex, yeah, certainly more expensive than you can get a watch somewhere else. What else? What are some other places, products, brands that charge more for a product that you get cheaper elsewhere?
BMW.
Nike.
Hold on, I had a lot of things going on at once here. Just to say it again.
Apple.
Apple, yep.
Louis Vuitton.
Louis Vuitton, sure.
Nike.
Okay. Nike.
Pottery Barn.
Pottery Barn. Yep. All right, a couple more, and then we'll move on.
BMW.
BMW, sure, yeah.
What's the real name for the acronym needless markup out of Texas? What is that? It's like a Nordstrom's, but they call it needless markup. What is that?
I don't know.
Big
When
time
you think of it, you let me know.
clothing store.
Neiman Marcus.
Neiman Marcus. Yes, thank you.
Needless markup. I'd never heard that before. That's good. Needless markup. Neiman Marcus. Okay, one more. Give me one more.
Godiva Chocolate.
Godiva Chocolate. There we go. We're covering all of our bases here. Okay. So Nordstrom's, clothing, shoes, variety of different things, Four Seasons, resorts, hotels, Ritz-Carlton, resorts, hotels, Century 21, real estate, Whole Foods, groceries, Rolex, watches, Apple, computers, and other electronics. What'd you say, Dave?
Oakley.
Oakley, yeah, Oakley. Yeah. Louis Vuitton, handbags, Nike shoes, Pottery Barn, housing stuff, BMW cars, Neiman Marcus, clothing, Godiva chocolate, Oakley glasses. Okay. So these are all brands, companies that sell a product where you could get the same product cheaper somewhere else. Okay, great. So let me ask you this. Why can these companies charge more for a product than other companies who charge less? Why can they get away with that?
Customer service.
Okay, so customer service. Okay.
Perceived value.
I heard perceived value. Okay.
Reputation.
Reputation. Okay.
Quality.
Quality of the product. Okay, great.
Performance.
Performance, sure.
Customer service.
Customer service, got it. Great. What else?
Presentation.
Presentation. Customer service, perceived value, reputation, quality, performance, presentation. What else? Anything else?
They make you feel good. Depending
Maria,
on
you said makes you feel good?
they make you feel important.
Make you feel important. Okay. I heard someone else say something.
Recognition of value.
Recognition of value. Okay, great.
Warranty.
Warranty, sure. Okay. Got it. Okay. Anything else?
Attention to details.
Attention to details, sure. Okay. Okay, good. Good. Okay, so perfect. So customer service, perceived value, reputation, performance, presentation, makes you feel important, recognition of value, warranty, attention to details. So these are all great examples of why these companies can charge more for the same product that someone else is selling elsewhere for less. So let me ask you a question. Is there another real estate agent or company that is giving the same product you are, but at a lower rate? Is there a company that's is willing to do the same thing you're doing, but for less money?
Yes.
Always.
Yes. Okay. So we are in the same field that these Nordstrom's, Four Seasons, Ritz-Carlton, so on and so forth are in. We have competition that's willing to do it for less money. And to the consumer, it's the same product. So here's the question. If the Ritz-Carlton does not give you all of these things that you just listed below, would you still stay at a Ritz-Carlton when you could stay at a Comfort Inn for a much cheaper price if you weren't getting all these things from the Ritz-Carlton?
No.
No.
So therefore, in real estate, if you're not giving all of these things, then they essentially would do the same thing and not work with you and just go with the cheaper rate. Because if the Ritz-Carlton charged you $600 a night, but did not provide great customer service, would you feel that you overpaid to stay at the Ritz-Carlton?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. If your Apple computer had poor quality and broke down after 2 months, would you feel like you overpaid for your Apple computer?
Yes.
Okay. So you get where I'm going here. Does the public in general think real estate agents are overpaid or underpaid?
Overpaid.
Overpaid.
Over.
Overpaid, right. They think you're overpaid. Now, I don't want anybody to answer this question out loud, please. But here's the thought. Do you think you're overpaid? Please don't answer that, okay? Whether it's a yes or no. I'm afraid of what some of the answers might be. Okay. Do you think you're overpaid? Do you think you're overpaid for what you're providing? Okay. So the general public thinks that you're overpaid for what you do because and then people are offering a lower price to do the same thing that you're doing. So you have to work to prove to the public that you are not overpaid, not as an industry, because does the Ritz-Carlton care what the hotel industry is doing for customer service, or do they only care what Ritz-Carlton does? What do you think?
Only about them.
They only care about Ritz-Carlton.
Right.
Yeah, Ritz-Carlton knows you can go cheaper elsewhere and they're going to do this. They don't care. This is what we do. You can't focus on what the industry is doing. You can't change the perception of the industry. You have to change the perception of yourself. And that's what a Ritz-Carlton does. That's what an Apple does. They change the perception of themselves so they can charge a premium no matter what else is going on in the marketplace. Okay, no matter what other companies are out there, brands are out there, it's the perception of yourself that you need to change to the public to get the money that you want. If you can't change the perception of yourself, then the public will continue to see that you're overpaid, and you will then have to lower your commission because that's the only way you're going to find a deal. You essentially will go from a Ritz-Carlton to a Motel 6, Howard Johnson's, whatever. I don't know if Howard Johnson's are still around. Motel 6, Howard Johnson's, whatever the case may be. So you have to decide what kind of real estate agent you want to be. Do you want to be which one or the other? Okay. So let's dive into this a little bit. Okay. These were the things we wrote out. What is an example of customer service that one of these products does to make their clients feel like they're providing great customer service? Give me an example of one of these types of companies of a customer service that they would offer.
Nordstrom,
Okay, but what would they do?
the quality and the customer service.
Right. So give me an example. Anyone can jump in here of
I
customer
can give you an
service.
example of great what was great customer service and isn't anymore.
Give me an
And
example.
that is men's shoes at Nordstrom's.
Uh-huh.
In the late 80s, early 90s, those guys and women would bring those shoes to your office if you're a good customer. I mean, they'd bring them to your office to make sure they fit. You didn't even have to go in. Or if you ordered them, they'd deliver them to you. I mean, it's amazing what they would do. And I knew I was overpaying like crazy, but it was so cool to go in there and know that I'd absolutely be taken care of. And it is absolutely not that way anymore. And I don't go there anymore for shoes.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's a good example of what was and what isn't.
Okay. There you go. Right. Okay. Take care of you when you come in. Some of the responses in the chat box, so I'm adding those. So valet service, they bring shoes to your office. Back in the day, client's always right. They take care of you when you come in. Okay, great. Those would be examples of customer service. So now here's the question is, what's an example of customer service in real estate that treats you more like a Ritz-Carlton compared to everybody else?
You set expectations and follow up every week as you promised on
Set
updates.
proper expectations, follow up as you said you would. Okay. What else? What would be examples of Ritz-Carlton level customer service, but for real estate?
If you tell your client you're going to do something for them, make sure that you get it done.
Do what you say you're going to do. Sure. Okay. Set proper.
Call them before they call you.
Call them before they call you. Sure.
Anticipate their needs.
Anticipate their needs. Sure. Okay. So set proper expectations, follow up as you said you would, do what you say you're going to do, call them before they call you, anticipate their needs. Okay. All good levels of customer service. in the real estate business. Now, again, I don't want you to answer this out loud because I don't want to embarrass anybody. I'm not trying to make a joke. I'm just really not trying to embarrass anybody. But you have to ask yourself, do you do these things? Now, we could go on and on about customer service, but let's just stick with these 5. Do you do these things? Do you set proper expectations? So an example of working with a buyer, do you set the proper expectation that they're going to be competing against multiple offers? They're going to have to be aggressive, okay, on price, or are you just saying, great, let's go see properties and see what happens? Oh, darn, I guess we'll get the next one. Are you following up as you said you would? So when you say that you're going to follow up every Monday morning to give them an update of what happened over the weekend, do you actually do that every Monday morning or Friday afternoon or whatever time you say that you're going to do that? Do you do what you say you're going, when you tell the client you're going to do something, do you actually get it done? Here's a bigger question. Do you get it done in the timely manner that they expect? See, here's the big thing on one of the big things on customer service. Customer service, this goes to kind of what Maricela said, the client's always right. In order to have elite customer service, you have to make sure you understand what elite customer service is to the client. Because you might think elite customer service is, well, yeah, I call you Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays and give you an update. But do some clients want updates daily?
Yes.
Yeah. So you might think elite customer service is, gosh, I'm calling you 3 times a week, giving you an update. They might want updates daily. So when you say you're going to do something, oh yeah, I'll get that done for you. And you might be thinking, hey, as long as I get it done within 24 hours, that's, you know, then I got it done in a timely fashion. But do some clients expect things done by the end of the day? Now, you can set the proper expectation. If you know it's something that can't be done by the end of the day, let them know. But if you don't let them know and they're expecting you to have it by the end of the day, and then at the end of the day, they don't hear from you and you didn't tell them anything, that could irritate some people. So that goes to setting proper expectations, follow up as you said you would, do what you say you're going to do, call them before they call you. A seller should never have to call you and say, hey, my lender just got the appraisal report. I can't believe the value's this. You should know that and call them ahead of time. Oh, I just heard that the inspection was done. I just heard this. I heard that from somebody else. What's going on? What's the update? Yesterday was the loan contingency. Did we get the loan approval waived? They should never have to call you for that. Anticipate their needs. How can you anticipate their needs? What do you need to do to figure out what their needs are? There's one word, 2 words actually, if you put them together. How can you figure out what somebody's needs are?
Ask questions.
Hey, Sam, ask questions. If you don't ask questions, you have no idea what their needs are. So you're not anticipating their needs, you're guessing. You're guessing what their needs might be. Guessing is nowhere in the customer service manual for any company. I hear this on coaching calls sometimes. I'll ask a question and say, well, I think it's because this, and I'll stop you and say, well, don't think, figure out what the actual answer is. I'm not trying to be mean or rude, but when you say, oh, I think it's because of this. No. Ask questions, anticipate their needs. Okay, good. All right, so let's go down to then, let's pick another one here, presentation, right? So give me an example of one of these companies when it comes to presentation. What's an example of one of these great companies where the presentation is top notch and so they're allowed to charge a little bit more? Give me an example.
Well, Ritz-Carlton.
Okay, but so what about the Ritz-Carlton though? What's the presentation?
It's clean,
Clean,
beautiful.
clean, beautiful, right? Sure.
It always smells like flowers as soon as you walk in.
Smells like flowers. Great. Okay. Great examples.
Everybody that works there are all dressed properly.
Employees are dressed properly.
The men are clean shaved if they have any, facial hair.
Shave, sure.
They seem to always serve their food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner on crystal china.
Yeah. Yeah. Utensils are. I'll make a better word later, but we'll just put utensils are nice for right now.
High quality.
There you go. High quality. All right. Okay, great. So places like the Ritz, other places are clean, beautiful, smells like flowers, employees properly dressed, clean shave, utensils are high quality. Okay, so now give me a couple of examples of what would be a great presentation in terms of high level, Ritz-Carlton, Four Seasons, Apple type presentation for real estate.
The way they're dressed.
The way they're dressed.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sure. We'll put dress to impress. Right. What else?
Communication.
Communication. Sure. Okay. Communication's part of presentation. How you present yourself verbally.
And the agent's attitude.
Attitude. Yeah. Attitude is part of a presentation. Sure. What else? What else in real estate, part of the presentation, could give you Ritz-Carlton type service?
Being on time.
On time. On time. Sure. Sure. So Four Seasons says your room is going to be ready at 3 o'clock. Do they typically call you at 3 and say, give us another hour? Or at 3 o'clock, is your room ready? It's ready. They say your room's ready at 3 o'clock. Your room's ready at 3 o'clock, sometime soon, for the most part. Yeah, on time, sure. All right, give me one more. Give me another example. Presentation.
Don't fumble with your forms and papers and everything. Know exactly where everything is, when you want it, and present it in a very clear, and always having the listener's train of thought in mind. You're talking to somebody that doesn't know our lingo, so don't use the lingo.
Right. And to go with that, the quality of the package that they receive, the type of paper and the print and they were like that. A lot of people, they didn't like the real colored documents. You can tell the difference between recycled paper and very good quality paper and print.
Sure. Okay, so good. So all right, I believe. And so again, don't answer out loud, but ask yourself, am I always dressed for the occasion? Now, let me ask you this. Let's take the Louis Vuitton person, right? Person who works at the Louis Vuitton store. And they're an employee there, and they don't have any appointments for the day. They have no appointments for the day, but but they got to go to the store. If they don't have any appointments for the day, do they dress casually?
No.
No.
Nope.
Nope. You work at Louis Vuitton. I don't care if you have an appointment or not. When you are representing us, you are dressed a certain way. So the question to ask yourself is, I don't have an appointment today, so what's the point of getting dressed up? Because at Louis Vuitton, appointment or no appointment, you get dressed up. If you work at the Ritz-Carlton sales department and you don't have you're not showing the property to any groups today that are going to do a conference, do you show up to work at the Ritz-Carlton just kind of dress casually, like, oh, no one's coming in today. I don't have any appointments to show the ballrooms today. No, you're
Yeah.
suited. You're suited and booted from the get. So dressed isn't always when it's appointment time, because those people at those places dress differently all the time. Okay. Or that they don't dress differently all the time. They dress the same all the time. They're suited no matter what's going on. Do you have that same type of mentality? Okay. I work from home 90% of the time. I go to the office sometimes, but I work from home 90% of the time, and I'm suited every single day. Top down. I'm not wearing shorts. Okay. And I'm not judging anyone who does, but I'm not doing that. Okay. Because you're going to see me on here and you're going to see me suited up all the time. Okay. So communication is part of presentation. Do you know what to say and how to say it? So let's go take, let's take Nike. Okay. Nike was one of them. And do you go to a Nike store and you ask about, well, tell me about these shoes? Well, and they're reading the box. They're the Nike Air Force. They're, I think they're basketball, running, sandal, volleyball shoes. They're just, is that how they communicate when they're talking about their product? Or are they on it? Oh, these are the Nike Air Force. These are basketball shoes. They're actually the 2021 brand. Okay. These are the same shoes that, whoever basketball player wears. They come in this size. They have this little aerodynamic thing. It's easier to cut on, so on and so forth, so you won't get blisters. That level of communication, do you have that when you're communicating in your presentation? Okay. Confidence. Now, does Louis Vuitton know their bags are expensive?
Yes.
Yes.
They know their bags are expensive. When the salesperson is selling you, do they seem a little concerned that their product is expensive, or do they have a bunch of confidence?
No, they don't care.
They don't care. Not a bit. Not a bit. They have all the confidence in the world when they're selling you this $2,000 handbag. So when you are asking someone for 3% commission on your end, are you acting with that same level of confidence that this is the deal? You're not overpaying me. This is what you're getting, because that's what they have.
No. Any other questions?
Yeah, no. Any other questions? Right. But it's how you that's part of the communication, right? It's how you deliver it. These brands don't feel bad about they're charging. Okay. None. You will not call a Rolex salesman and they'll go, well, this watch is 10,000. I mean, I know that's kind of steep for a watch. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there might be maybe we can go a little bit lower. They don't do that. A Rolex salesman says, this one's $10,000. You want it? Sure. Great. Here's the contract. Right? That's how they sell their products. Do you have that same communication? Because again, if you don't communicate your value properly, then the client thinks you're overpaid. Attitude. Attitude is definitely part of the presentation, right? Kind of goes into the confidence thing. Do you walk to the door with attitude, a good attitude in terms of shoulders back, heads up, good pace, or you slumped over? Oh boy, we'll see what happens. Poor attitude, not going to get you any money. On time. Boy, on time. We talked about that with Four Seasons, right? On time. So are you always on time, not just to your presentations, but on time when you say you're going to call somebody back? On time to your meetings? On time in delivering documents? If you tell someone that when you tell someone you're going to have a package delivered to their house, are they anticipating that package?
Yes.
Yeah. Because most people, you don't get typical packages. A salesperson typically doesn't tell you a package is coming. Amazon tells you packages are coming. The salesperson doesn't tell you a package. So they're anticipating it. So they're like, well, when is it coming? Okay. And then you don't send it for 3 or 4 days. So for 3 or 4 days, they've been anticipating a package from you. And every day it doesn't come. If you tell them you're going to send them a package, send them a package. Get it there as soon as possible. That's on time. Okay. Whatever the case may be. Nordstrom's does some stuff to your jacket. If you're getting anything tailored or hemmed at Nordstrom's and they tell you it's going to be ready on Friday, is it going to be ready? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Are you on time to everything? Know exactly where everything is and present and clear and present in clear manner. Yeah. Goes back to, again, knowing what to say and how to say it. Now, let me ask you a question. When you go to the front desk, you check in at a hotel like a Four Seasons, Ritz, or things like that. Does everybody there say the same thing at the front desk?
Yes.
Mm.
Where do you think they got that?
Scripted.
Oh. Huh.
The owner's manual.
Huh.
Yes.
Huh. And yet we are so appreciative because they know, oh, where's, okay, you're here. You know, they get the little map out, right? You're here. And what you're going to do, you're going to go up here. You're going to see the Lion. And once you get to the Lion, go to the right. And that's where you're going to get your elevators. It's going to take you up to the 14th floor. Here's your key to go. And they're going to say, how many keys do you want? They're going to set you up. If you want to go to the pool, go down to the 3rd floor, and the restaurant's here, bars here. You've got, and you're just like, wow, this is so professional.
Yes, would you like us to show you?
Would you like us to show you? Yes. Can somebody help you? Right?
Mm.
And if that person didn't call you that said next, and it wasn't them, it was the person next to them, you would have got the exact same presentation. They're all scripted. They know what to say and how to say it at an extremely high level to make it seem very professional.
And they always end it with Mr. Hertel.
Yeah. They know the name. Yeah.
They all know their name.
There it is. So all these places, BMW, same thing. I saw BMW was one of the places we looked at. You go to the car dealership, you go to a BMW or any of those other types of products, the salespeople are all going to treat you the same way. You're never going to have one salesperson go, all right, today I'm going to wing it. I'm going to try this out. No, they're all going to approach you the same way, have the same script, have the same process of showing you the vehicles, getting you in, sitting you down, going through the numbers, asking manager 1, then manager 2. It's all part of the process. And yet the entire time you feel like $1 million. Can I get you some water? Get you some coffee? Can I do this? All these other different things. What do you need? But they're all doing the same thing. So know exactly where everything is, knowing exactly, presenting in a certain manner. Absolutely. Is a huge thing. This is what makes these companies great. Are you that way? Don't use lingo. It's huge. I always thought that was a big thing in real estate. They are not in our business. Okay. So who here besides me doesn't know a lot about cars?
What?
Who here other than me does not know a lot about cars? Okay. So if I go to the BMW dealership and they say, yeah, well, what's great about this car is it's got a 4.5-inch cylinder V4762 engine pipe, this, and I don't know what the hell you're talking about. No clue what you're saying to me. And when you say that to me, what do I feel? How do I feel when people talk to me that way? Lost. And what else?
Dumb.
Dumb. I feel lost and dumb. How many sales can you make if the client feels lost and dumb? Right? So you can't go, BMW dealership is not going to use all this lingo unless they'll be able to pick up if they get it. They're going to tell you, hey, look, it's a V6, it's a V4, it's got this kind of horsepower. And, you know, they got to tell you at least some of that stuff, but they'll be able to look at your face and go, he don't get it. There's no reason for me to go about what else is under the hood. All he knows is that there's an engine. And all I'm going, yeah, I just need to know there's an engine. I don't know. You know, it goes 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds. I live in Los Angeles, sir. If I go 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds, I'm going to hit 8 cars. Okay. I don't need to go 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds on the 405. Okay. So you have, but don't use lingo, right? So you can't use lingo in our business either, right? A lot of people don't know what contingencies are or what they really mean. So you have to explain it in detail so they understand it. Some of they don't know what a title is. Well, you can hold it in joint tenants. I don't know what the hell that means. Okay. Say it in ways that they can understand so they don't feel lost and dumb. Great. The type of package, paper, print. I'll tell you what, that to me, what Maria was talking a little bit about that, the presentation of places is where it's at. How do you present your product? See, at a Four Seasons, a Ritz, the product is the place. This is the product. The product is the building, the hotel. The people are part of the service, but the product is the building. And you walk in, it's always clean and beautiful and crisp and it smells good and it's everything's, you know, looks perfect. When you're presenting your material, your pre-listing package, your CMA, what's it look like? Does it look like someone who just put together something and yeah, here's your comps? Or does it look like someone who's took $1 million mentality into this $500,000 property? And you look at a place like the Four Seasons. Does the Four Seasons care how much money you have in order to get the service that they provide? Or if you're staying at the Four Seasons, you're getting the Four Seasons service. So do you have that same mentality? Do you have 2 different pre-listing packages, one for $1 million house and one for a $500,000 house? Do you have 2 CMAs, one for the $2 million people and one for the $400,000 people? Or do the $400,000 people get the $2 million CMA as well? Is the paper good? Is the print good? This is why I've never understood at open houses when people give a black and white printout of the MLS listing. Here, let me know if you have any questions. Here's a black and white printout of the MLS listing. Oh, that's a wonderful presentation. I can't wait to list my home with you. It's all about the presentation. Absolutely. So you have to ask yourself the questions. Am I giving this type of presentation stuff to every person? And is this how I'm presenting? Okay. So customer service, we talked about presentation, right? So let's go over one more thing real quick as we wrap up here. Attention to details. We'll go to the last one. Attention to details. All right. So give me an example or two of attention to details from one of these companies. What is something that they pay attention to details on? What do you think? Give me an example of the BMWs, the Nordstroms, the Louis Vuittons, the Godivas, all these companies we talked about. What is something they do?
Good stereo system.
Good stereo system, sure, right? It's good stereo system is paying attention to the details.
The Ritz-Carlton will turn your bed down long before it's bedtime.
Turn bed down long before bedtime.
Louis Vuitton will package your item like you're taking home a present to the Queen.
Package your item like you're taking a present to the Queen. There you go.
BMW will wash your car and gas it up when you pull it off the lot.
All right. So there you go. Wash car and gas it up. Right. Okay. Yeah, it's a little attention to details. Sure. All right. So what would be attention to details in real estate? What would be attention to the details that's important in real estate that makes you top notch? Let me give you an example. Reading everything written in the contract.
Right.
Because I don't know if Cindy's here right now or not, but she can attest to times when we submit a contract and then later on down the road be like, oh my God, I missed that in the contract. I didn't know it said that. I didn't know the contingency said 21 days instead of 17. I didn't know they wanted this.
I've started reviewing as a listing agent, I review the purchase contract before we get an offer. And it really enlightens the seller as to what they're demanded to do, or what they may be asked to do. And it has now a whole list of things that are included in the with the sale or not included, and it gives you a chance to revise your multiple listing after they take a look at that and say, oh yeah, I really did want to keep so and so and so and so. It's amazing.
Yeah,
such a thorough contract that it's great to go over it with them. And then it's not in the heat of battle. Then when you get it, you say, hey, you remember we talked about this? Oh yeah, they're very comfortable. It really lowers the heat for them because they've already seen it before.
Yeah, that's great. I love it. There you go. Very good. All right, give me one more. Give me another attention to details in terms of real estate.
Under promise, but over deliver.
Under promise and over deliver. Sure. So look, as it's 1 o'clock, so we're gonna be wrapping up here. But the question you have to ask yourself is this. We listed all these companies that have a product that you can get cheaper elsewhere. The same thing that you have as a real estate agent. They can get your product for cheaper elsewhere. They can get a listing agent to do it for cheaper elsewhere. They can get a buyer's agent that'll give them some money back elsewhere. Okay, so they can do that. But all these companies are very successful charging more for their product. And nobody thinks that they're overpaid the same way they think a real estate agent might be. And it's because of these things, these customer service, perceived value, reputation, quality, performance, presentation, makes you feel important, recognition of value, warranty, attention to details. And we went through a few of these on what they do and what real estate agents do. So you have to really go through this and ask yourself, am I doing all the things that these companies do so that I can charge more confidently than my competition? And if I do that, are my clients going to go, wow, I overpaid? Or are they going to go, worth every penny? Same way it was when I stayed at the Ritz-Carlton for $700 a night. Worth every penny. But you have to do all these things. So what I would do is challenge yourself to go through your business plan, go through all the things that you're doing on a daily basis, and check, double check, triple check, review, and make sure that you're doing all the things that these companies do in your business so that you are perceived as underpaid rather than overpaid.
Can you move the cursor down so I can see the bottom part?
Mm-hmm. I have a better idea. I'll just share this doc in the chat box.
Okie dokie.
Questions on anything we went over? Is this helpful?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, good, because I spent time thinking about this class, so I'm glad it went for something.
Thank you, sir.
I spent time coming up with a plan for this one, so I'm glad somebody liked it.
Yeah, it was fun to have everybody participate. I like that.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah, made you
Well,
have to think.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Well, the document's in the chat box for those of you that want to download it. All right, everybody. That's all I got. I appreciate